buddies, welcome to the Friday edition of the show. Good to have you. Good to see you. Everyone looking good, looking so great, feeling fine on a Friday. It is Barn Burner brought to you by Bet365. Get into the action. Stanley Cup playoffs, I believe, have begun. They are underway.
Are they getting started?
Download the app. Get in on it. Official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. You must be 19 or older. And inclined, you may donate to the super chat. We'll take the money that comes in, give it to the Youth Centers of Calgary. We'll take the comment that you tie in with it and then put it on the show. There's Rhett in the home office. What's happening today, buddy?
It's not happy.
We've got illnesses, we've got activities, we've got there's a lot on the go.
Yeah.
The lake's not cold enough to be a cold tub anymore.
That's tough sledding, bud. What kind of pseudoscience you got cooking to get rid of this illness at the house?
Oh, we got all kinds. We got the nebulizer going. We got the oil of oregano on the feet. We got it. Feet. Come on.
Feet. Sorry, I don't know how.
Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Right. Yeah. No.
Kind of forgot about that.
I noticed that. I was just going to leave it be.
Is that a new chapeau?
No, it's an old chapeau.
An old chapeau.
But I had been waiting for the right time to wear it. And I went to the Surge game last night and thought I would wear it. And then I was like, I put on the wrong hat when I went out the door.
That's all right.
It's corduroy.
It is corduroy.
Look, this is how you know it's one of those old ones. Look at the point at the top.
Yeah. Oh, the red corduroy hats. It's a big deal.
How do you own those? Like, were those dads?
You buy them from secondhand stores, or you snatch them from estate sales or something? I don't know.
Do you spend a lot of time in secondhand stores and estate sales? Like, is that a?
No, I'll pop in like once every 3 or 4 months to a place right next to my favorite Vietnamese sub place. And
Thrifting's big, bud. People love it.
This isn't thrifting. They do the thrifting, and then they charge me way too much stuff for stuff that they got for free. Yeah.
However you want.
And I write it off as a business expense. It's really interesting stuff.
Wow. How's that going, by the way? Every once in a while, I better get my taxes in. Better get some receipts done.
What I do is I leave everything and I pretend it's not happening, and then I get a call from my account. It's like, yo, you got 3 days. What?
Yeah.
I love that approach to life. It's
a challenge, right?
Ignore.
It's kind of like what I'm doing with the 999. Jack wants to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm not there yet. I'm living a normal day today until 5. At that point, I'll deal with that.
You have a unusually large drinking vessel today.
I'm going to try to get some water in there.
Right.
I think this is a poor decision. Maybe not. Is there any good decisions?
I read it on the internet.
Is there any good decisions going into a 999? Like,
I'm waiting for your decision. In classic Rhett fashion, you are straddling a fence the day of after being invited months ago to said event.
Well, what did we just say? Ignore until.
Yeah. I think
put off until the last possible.
And then the other point, you put it on me, but you chose a date. I was not part of the.
I think we ran it by a bunch of people.
It was not a month ago.
I can find the chat.
It's okay. I didn't see there again. It's the details.
I think it was
a while ago. It's okay. It was either way. Today is happy 999 day to everybody, whether you take part in the
in the festivities,
the holiday or not.
You mop the vomit or hold the pail, whatever your role is. Enjoy today.
You can do it if you choose to celebrate at home, or maybe you come out to Greta. We'll allow it. We'll get into it. McLeod Law opening statements. Peter Klein, he is our guy, among others. I wonder how Austin's doing.
I checked in a week ago. He is fresh baby.
First time father.
Said they're trying to figure out the sleep thing.
Yeah.
It's getting better. And it will get better, Austin. That's what you need to know. Things are going to get better.
Which doesn't help at the time.
No, it doesn't.
When people tell you, well, it'll get better. When?
I just start telling people, I'm like, oh, you're in the fog. They're like, what's that? And it's like, well, it's a time of your life you won't even remember because you're not sleeping enough, but eventually you'll be out of the fog. Well, when? I don't know.
The first couple years are a bit of a challenge. That's the one the first couple years.
That's a 2-year fog.
My God, what?
2-year war.
McLeod Law, they're the best at what they do. Shane King loves to litigate. Litigator of the year. Austin's dad. Peter Klein's also a father.
He's got large children.
Yep. Very tall.
Big fellas.
Yep.
Groomed.
The best of the best. You want them on your side, and it's easy to do because they are Calgary-based, and all you need to do is contact them. McLeod-law.com for whatever your legal issues or assistance might be. The Dallas Stars men have done it again. Lost in the conference final for the third straight year.
Soiled themselves.
The gentleman's sweep, as some call it, the 5-game exit, never felt close, really. The one
they had
game
10
they did win.
Yeah, 10 minutes of hockey where they actually outplayed the other team.
I think they sort of had periods here or there, but they never just could control things, right?
It had no vibe of a conference final.
It was a gentleman's sweep. It was a sweep. They got lucky that they got some penalties in game one and happened to score. And other than that, it was not in question.
I was thinking about game 3, 2-1, and then they get the 2 empty netters to win 4-1. That was when they were way up in the shots early. Like, I want to say it was like 8-2 or something. It's like, yeah, look, if you were going to say Stuart Skinner had the better goaltender and your good young players weren't good and your old vets weren't good.
Yeah, it all happened to them. Yeah. We can kind of go through last night's matchup if we would like.
Oh, good.
Not sure how bad.
Yeah, really? Okay, and next.
Yeah, look, everything is happening.
Can you hear the Bob Cole voice?
Corey Perry has 7 goals. Stuart Skinner's save percentage upon coming back is tremendous. Connor McDavid's very good. Leon is also very good. Bouchard is very good in the back end.
Ever since Rhett gave him a talking to, he's been great. That should be on your resume.
Motivator.
They, you know what? They look elite-ish.
Well, they're one of the 2 left, so that would make them elite-ish.
Yeah, they look elite-ish. And it just, the whole thing feels a lot different. I know, just looking back to last year, and it's whatever, it's just we sit here and watch it. It just felt like you were waiting for the wheels to fall off, and you figured that they would. It was just a matter of time. It's all going to come crashing down. I don't know, men, I don't have that vibe at all this time. This doesn't feel like smoke and mirrors. This feels like they're a better tested team. They're more comfortable in this scenario. They're very much deserving to be
absolutely
where they're at.
There's 2 teams that have really dominated most of the series they've played in and been in full control and dictated the tone of play and the pace of play and how the style of play. And it's Florida and Edmonton. They're the 2 left. And the later they've gone into the playoffs, the more decisive it's been that they're the better team. They're due for each other. We've got the best 2 teams playing. They were not anywhere near the best 2 teams in the regular season. They weren't very good regular season teams. Neither were top 10, I don't think. We're like 8 and 10. But these are teams that inflict punishment and physical will on you. They're deep and they feel poised.
I didn't feel the need to fact check Jason Gregor. He's close to it, right?
Yeah, he'd know.
He would know.
Especially if it's Oilers stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys read that stuff for bed every night.
Jason Gregor up in Edmonton. He threw out the since Los Angeles, because I think a lot of you says, well, who did they play? Right. Well, look at Carolina. Who did you play? Well, what did Edmonton? Well, since the LA series, you've played what we believe to be some very good teams. There you see his tweet from last night. When the playoffs began, many had Dallas and Vegas as 2 of the favorites. Edmonton dominated both, winning in 5. 5-on-5 play. Edmonton outscored Vegas 14-7, outscored Dallas 13-5 at even strength.
Yeah.
Which
I wasn't impressed by either. I mean, I know that, like, going into the playoffs, I agree. They were teams you looked at, but Dallas needed an incredibly lucky finish to a Game 7 against Colorado to get through round 1. Vegas got a real good scare from Minnesota. And they both looked significantly less invested than Edmonton when they played them. So yes, tip your cap to Edmonton, but those 2 teams kind of look like the frauds in a way, right?
So, well, yeah.
Like, and again, just to say that, like, again, regular season team does not equal playoff success. How many times do we see a President's Trophy winner or a conference winner?
No, that's not what I'm kind of.
That's sort of what I'm.
It's back-to-back series where teams. Well, you guys didn't.
Yeah.
There's some credit that has to be given to the other side. You took what were believed to be powerhouses in the Western Conference and made them look silly.
just like Florida has. I think we got the best two teams here. I don't know.
You do have the best two teams. Ryan is trying not to give.
He's trying to stay away from it,
and I give him credit for that. But it is.
No, I mean, look, if Jason Gregor's going to tweet about teams in the Stanley Cup final, yeah, they've beaten really good teams to get there. They're in the Stanley Cup final. They've been really good.
That's not what that tweet is about.
Then what's it about?
What did it say?
It says they're really good against good teams. Yeah, they're in the final.
This is going to be hard shows to do because Rhett, this is now me and you. How are we going to do this for the next?
We just have to let him go because I think
I show a thing about how they performed 5-on-5 because everything's about their power play. Yet 5-on-5 they dominated. And then he starts talking about Florida. I don't know what we're going to do. I feel badly for him. I get it.
Because we don't want to suck up to the Oilers fans either, so it's fine. You can.
Peak Payne's still on the menu here, fellas.
I know. I understand.
Like for everyone involved.
Maybe
I think that we'll just have to just allow him not to interject on certain questions. Maybe if we're looking to.
No, look, I'm not trying to discredit anything they're doing. They've been dominant. They should have probably lost to LA. And since that shitty Jim Hiller challenge and Byfield not clearing the zone, they've looked like the best team in the playoffs alongside Florida.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're clearly the best two teams, and they've beaten really good teams and made them look silly to get here.
Right. I
agree with Jason. Not a crazy take.
No, what I'm saying, this is not about Florida at all. I mean, you're sprinting past everything to get to the two good teams. I don't disagree, and I don't maybe some time off. You want to take next week off? Get away, go somewhere. You've already got your Hawaiian shirt on.
Let's wait till the start. Like it's still a week out. This start, so we gotta.
Wednesday.
Maybe Wednesday to.
I think the following week's the week that he might need off. By the way, I'll be gone. He might need that week off just because that's when you're going to get an indication of who's looking good against the other, and then that big trophy might come out. And I don't want him around.
Wednesday's game 1. That's next week.
Okay, so Rhett, when are you away? Just so I can get his days in.
Well, I don't have anything booked, but I'll be roughly I will be at
vacation.
I'm going to be at the George Strait concert in Buffalo on the 14th. Just
on the 14th.
Just give him that week.
You're invited, Dean.
Thanks.
Can I come?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're away then, and we need Pinder to be away.
Oh, I could do the show. I just have to do it remote like this.
No, it's okay. As great as you are remotely in Buffalo, getting ready for.
I can go where the birds are. Remember the birds? I could be outside with the birds again.
Yeah,
birds. Those shows sucked.
Yeah, no,
tweetering.
It's all right. Okay, so
let's listen. I'm saying this in all seriousness. We got to go easy on each other. Oh, it's moving again. The camera's moving again. We got to go easy on each other. This is a tough spot for a lot of Southern Albertans. And we got to be more understanding. You know, the Carney and the elbows up, and we got to come to. We need a slogan or a slogan or what logo or because we got to rally and stick together. When times are tough, we stick together, right? Maybe.
Yeah, it's funny that I was thinking about this earlier this week, that maybe if we get snippy, and it wasn't just in general with the show at any time, Jack could just interject with hey, be nice. Like, it's time, just be nice right now. I need you to say something nice about this person, or just say something nice, or be nice, a compliment.
We're all stressed.
Maybe we just need to have like a little drop or something. Say, okay, whoa, be nice. And then, I like your hat today, Ryan.
Thanks, Dean. You make really nice buns.
Thank you.
Rhett, you were a good hockey player.
I don't know if I was, but thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you played a pretty good league.
Jack, you're going to crush the 999.
Yes, I am.
Oh, please be correct.
Yeah, positive.
I have a hot dog update. You let me know when you're ready for it. All right.
There is a story to tell from last night, to be sure. There's did they touch the trophy? And no, they didn't touch it, or so they're touching that whole thing. But to me, we all felt like Edmonton was going to win this thing about 2 or 3 or 4 days ago. It just felt inevitable anyway. But last night, let's take a look at it. We'll look at the first 2 goals. We go to the first period, 2:31 in on a power play. Maverick Bourque takes a penalty. And again, Retro, this is Dallas at home. Edmonton, this is weather the storm time, right? It's a power play, I get, but
okay, great. That's terrible coverage. It's terrible.
So that's 2:31 in. We jump ahead about 4.5 minutes, and they would add to it. And the shot clock also reads 2. Team's not ready. You didn't have them ready, whatever you want. Power play, then just breakdown is 2-0, 7:09 in, and you make the move to pull Oettinger and put in Casey DeSmith.
You've allowed 2 shots in like 8 minutes, then both went in.
Can I make a point?
Mm-hmm.
If you're calling timeout, if you're changing your goalie, you don't need to call the fucking timeout.
Yes.
It's one or the other. You don't need to waste the timeout and then change. Like, we're changing our goalie. You take your effing time getting in the net. Fellas, get over here.
Mm-hmm. Stretch for a bit, son.
Like, it doesn't play out in any of importance in the game, but the point is, why did you do it that way? And if you did need your timeout, you've now wasted it. Completely.
I wasn't watching live, so I was catching up later. I was floored. Jake Oettinger. Noodles talked about him a couple weeks ago, waiting for him to have take that step. You're an elite guy. You got a lot. You're signed 8-year deal, 8.25 per elite goalie money.
That's number 1 top 10 goalie in the league money.
And coaches get frustrated with poor goaltending. I get it. And his record is not stellar in the postseason. He's 32-30 all time. For a team that's been pretty good in the play, as we said, they've made it to the conference final 3 straight times. But the fact that you're that early in an elimination game and you left DeSmith in, that was the call.
Mm-hmm.
There's
2 conversations to have. There's the where are we at with Jake Oettinger? And the second is what were you doing here, Peter DeBoer? Because they both are true in a sense. Like, in Calgary, you don't have to convince people that Jake Oettinger can be a good goalie. We saw the best series he's ever played in his life. But we keep waiting to see that guy show up in a different series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the other side is DeBoer's got a reputation as a really tough guy on goalies. He was famously the coach where Marc-Andre Fleury, his agent, did the old sword through the back clip art. In a crucial must-win game with your season on the line, is that really what you want to do? If your boys aren't fired up for an elimination game to begin with, is changing the goalie really going to get them going? I don't know. I wonder about that.
I think it's a poor decision. If you were changing the goalie, I would have used that as a timeout and to tell Oettinger, get your head out of your ass. Your team hasn't come out to play, and I don't think they came out to play the whole series. And again, you get stuck with the Florida Carolina. It's like, well, the other team's really effing good. Maybe they haven't been allowed to play well. But I find it going back the series before. They're winning games and they're better than the other teams, but they're not making a statement. Colorado's a tough out, and they kind of fluked their way through that one.
Yeah,
not to take anything away from what they did, but without some breaks and some hockey god stuff, they're not moving on. Last year, they have a chance to end Edmonton. They don't put the hammer down on them. Mm-hmm. They just don't. They let it slip away. Like, they don't. To me, with that big and rugged a team, I would expect it's dump it and bang the piss out of them for the first 10 minutes of every game. And by game 3, the other team's going, I'm so sick of it. Jamie Benn was irrelevant.
Yeah. And they aren't that physical. They are a less rugged team than last year. And I don't know if that's a choice or not, Retro. It feels like a bit of a choice. Like, they are a big team. They can skate well. You have guys that can be physical, but they were just on their heels for even a lot of that Winnipeg series. I wasn't terribly impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And you were hoping that they could get going, because it's like, look, you got the lottery balls up the road. You don't want to see that happen. Like, get her going, fellas.
Yeah. So let's just stick with Oettinger for this whole thing, because here's the data,
It's a
which
mess.
probably leads to the frustration that DeBoer is feeling. Oettinger had lost 6 of his last 7 postseason games against Edmonton prior to last night. 9 goals over 3 consecutive losses to end last year's Western Conference final, and gave up 14 in the first 4 of this year. Of the 161 goals that Oettinger has allowed in his postseason, more than 15% have been scored by the Oilers in the last 2 years. So he has bled out against the Oilers here.
That's a catchy statistic because if you've played that team more, it's
misleading. But the point is that the Oilers have had
it's too many goals. Whatever, however, if you want to do percentage, it's too many.
No, and here's the thing: if you're gonna look at goalies that have just lost to the Oilers in a series, the numbers aren't going to be good. Like Aiden Hill's garbage compared to other years where they beat the Oilers. But yeah, like they're a team that can really score you. And Oettinger
before we go to, just stay with this for a moment.
Just going to finish the sentence. Okay.
This is what DeBoer is.
Yeah,
this is why.
Sure. And there's one way you beat the Oilers. Your goaltender has to be stone cold. Like you can't have a leaky.
So if his team was actually looking invested physically and working their tails off and looked like they wanted it as much as Edmonton, and your goalie lets you down, then I'm with you, Pete.
This is DeBoer. This is DeBoer post game, because I think a lot of people were wondering about the early pull, the not going back to Oettinger, and obviously the short series. Here's Pete DeBoer post game.
Anytime you pull a goalie, there's the reasoning's always to try and spark your group. So that was the number one reason. We had talked endlessly in this series about trying to play with the lead. And obviously we were in a 2-0 hole right away. And you know what, I didn't take that lightly, and I didn't blame it all on Jake. But, the reality is if you go back to last year's playoffs, he's lost 6 to 7 games to Edmonton, and we gave up 2 shots on 2 goals in an elimination game. So, it was partly to spark our team and wake them up, and partly, knowing that, status quo had not been working, and that's a pretty big sample size.
Neither bad goals. Sorry.
They're not bad goals, but the saves you still need to make if you want to beat the Edmonton Oilers.
And again, agree on that. Like, feel free to make those saves. But if Pete's saying, if we just got some saves, you would have been. No, you looked like shit in front of your goalie. Your effort level was low, and you're giving up really, really easy opportunities to a dynamic team. Like, you could talk about 2-on-2. Those are both coaching structure, players in front of you, goals against. Those aren't goalie should have had it saved.
Which is why it's more than just the 2 goals. DeBoer is,
if you think that's the thing,
he's done. Now he's done with Jake Oettinger. He did not need to give style points.
We don't know what Ottinger's like in the room and behind. You know what I mean? Maybe he's got a shitty attitude about it. Maybe DeBoer's trying But Keenan did it to Kiprusoff in Game 7 in San Jose.
Let's take
Game 7 in San Jose. Kipper gives up 2 goals and Keenan yanks him. Now, the difference being Keenan, I think, was trying to use that yank as a timeout to reset the team. What happens in the next minute? Same thing that happened to Dallas. Your backup goalie goes in and the puck's in your fucking net.
It was April 22nd.
Now you can't go back to your starter. And that's why I found it odd that DeBoer did it the whole way he did it. Maybe his plan was to take Oettinger out and leave him out. But I thought it was a switch and go back. Do you know what I mean? I thought he was, and I think that's what Keenan was planning in San Jose, and it bit him in the ass because they scored a goal on their guy that's cold and shouldn't have been in there.
Go ahead, Jack. I thought the same thing, pal. I just remember being bitter. There's the 1-0 goal on a power play.
Through the table under the stands.
Pardon me?
I almost threw the table. We were sitting at this table and I almost threw it in the stands when he pulled them.
So much like the other last night. It's a power play goal. There's a shot that just kind of sifts through from Roenick. It looks like as of today, it's still credited to Jeremy Roenick. I don't know if Setaguchi got a piece of it. That's the second. Roenick gets a rebound. That makes it 3-2.
Halfway through the game, it's a 1-goal game. Yeah.
And then there's Mike starting to feel it. Yeah, there's the other rebound. So and then still in the second, freaking Joe Pavelski just does it. So Kipper's out. Dude goes in.
Yeah.
And the
Look at the
bleeding
time.
Yeah.
You're settled.
So he goes. You can see here. Mike goes over, says something to him. Kipper doesn't look too. I don't really need to engage with you right now, but I'm with you. I just felt like it was dance with the one that brought you, regardless of what you're thinking, how pissed off you are, who's giving you the best chance to win.
Yeah.
And to suggest that it's Casey DeSmith last night, what's he got? 5 games postseason experience.
Seems
0 in an elimination game, 1 win.
I still, and we don't know Pete DeBoer's brain, but I'm thinking he was putting them back.
What's weird is because we showed the video there of the timeout where Oettinger's going back to the net.
Yeah.
He's skating to that. Hey, Jake, get back here.
It's almost like he's using it as a double timeout. I'm going to take my timeout, and then I'm going to switch goalies, and I'll really settle these guys down. I'll give them a minute or 90 seconds.
Or did Oettinger know he was getting pulled?
I mean, that's the first thing you say to him, wouldn't it be?
Wouldn't I?
Yeah. And I don't see him in the shot. That's all I'm saying. I don't see him anywhere. Like, where is he?
Yeah. If you've called the timeout and your plan is, well, we're making a goalie pull, like you say, you've got a minute for just get your gear. And Ottinger's not then going back to the net unless maybe Smith can't find his fucking mask. Who knows? The whole thing is bizarre to me, the call to pull him, to not put it back in. It's that little bizarre thing there. Fascinating.
So you had said, just like the Kipper pull, when you go to your backup and he lets it in, you can't put him back in. Like, walk me through that. Because that's what happened. I think
that you're pot committed at that point. You're down too many to switch back and go again. It's just, you won't do it. It's almost a personal pride point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think through it, could you do it? Yeah. And should he have done it? I don't know.
Because Oettinger gets pulled at 7:09 of the first. By the 8:07 mark, it's 3-0.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, it didn't work at all. And I don't know, like, how much mystique do we put in the poll, changing the morale of the bench? Like, guys could be embarrassed, but like, look, this is elimination game.
I don't think
Tuesday in January where it's like, yeah, guys, we got to start working.
Exactly. Right? The old teams. I think that if a team responds to a goalie being pulled, it's very odd anyway. And in a game where you need to win, if you're the bigger question to me is, do the players not believe in Oettinger? Because if you're the coach and you're pulling them, or do you have the backing of the players, or the players like, what the f are you doing? Like, to me, the whole team, and this alludes to more of the issue I have, and sitting in Calgary knowing nothing, are the players pissed at the coach?
Yeah, that's what I keep.
Because that team didn't come out and kick ass. Like that team, and again, I'm not trying to take away from Edmonton, and Edmonton could have won the game, and they're the better team clearly. But did you see like I said before, weather the storm? Was there a weather the storm at all?
No.
They were pissing down their leg the whole time. They weren't into it.
Yeah. He just signed an 8-year deal. You know, people were putting this is the Patrick Waugh moment. And
look, the coach has 1 year left. So this is the summer he's going to want an extension. And there's all of a sudden a really established track record of DeBoer getting teams to a conference final and never getting through a conference final. And so I'm kind of with Rhett here. It's like, If your guys aren't ready to go and they're not looking that great, and you allow 2 monster grade A's on your first 2 shots against, and you're pulling a goalie to rile them up, isn't your job as the coach to rile them up? Or is it to the point where, like, why aren't they riled up? It's an elimination game.
Yeah.
Here's the track record. This is wild. 6 of the last 7 seasons, this team have gone out in the conference final. And it's hard to get to a conference final. Like, let's not take anything away from that. But what happens here? Are they done with him? Are the teams really not good enough? Like, I don't know.
Because what was it? He's been 7 of the last 9 years and has been fired twice or whatever.
It's 3 teams there. Look.
Is this how it's happened?
There's 3 teams there. And in the last 7 seasons he's coached, he's been to a conference final 6 times.
Because there is some mending of fences to be done. I know that Jamie McLennan, after that thing in 2008, flew to Finland to go and see Kipper and try and smooth things over.
With him and got sick on a boat or something.
I asked if that was the same year. He said he got sick the next year. Wrong off season.
It was some in Tosca. You go check the rosters.
Like that, yeah.
But no, like, look, I don't think it's a slam dunk that Pete DeBoer's back. If you were a coach of his pedigree, making the kind of money he's making, are you going to go into your last year as a lame duck, or do you want a contract? I know what Rick Tocchet felt. He doesn't have anywhere near the track record this guy has. And if you're the Dallas Stars, are you ready to commit 4 or 5 years, which is what a guy of his pedigree commands right now? Probably not. They got Steve Spott on the bench as an assistant. He's followed Pete everywhere. I don't know.
Followed Pete everywhere.
I don't know. I'm not saying that it's a slam dunk, but it's not just an awkward conversation between the coach and the GM, or excuse me, the goalie and the GM, because the goalie's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And even if the goalie says, I'm out of here, they'll say, no. Coaches don't last 8 years. We'll keep you and we'll change the coach. We've seen that happen in a lot of places. The players always win against the coach. Shelf lives don't match. When players didn't want to play for Darryl, guess what happened? He was good.
We give tons of credit to Edmonton, and then you start to question the coaching because you're not getting it done. You start to question the goaltending, and 2 weeks ago, Jim Nill was the most brilliant GM in the world, and now I question his whole team. Is it good? Yeah, but are they built for success? I don't know. Yeah,
it didn't look like it was a team that was maxed out, and it's like, well, that was our best effort. So I don't really put that on GM.
Their defense,
the right side is awful.
Even with Heiskanen, looked thin.
Yeah,
I mean, Bischel's 20? He's playing
too much.
It's way too much.
Their best 3 defenders are all left shots. That's the problem. Cody Cece's awful at this point in his career. He should not be out there. Alex Petrick's been spending time in the minors. Labushkin's been a journeyman forever. All those guys are playing way too much.
They have a lot of UFAs. Jamie Benn, Matt Duchesne, Dadonov. They brought in Granlund. He's a UFA. Cece on the back end is a UFA as well. So there will be turnover, which is why I wonder with DeBoer, because you'll go to market and free agency, and you're going to be able to make some changes there. Do you bring him? It just feels like the coaching cycle is kind of done. If you fire, if he doesn't come back now, if you make a change, I don't know. The whole goal. Just my last thought on that goalie thing is, and I don't know. Like you say, Red, we're not in the room. We don't know what the players think about Oettinger or what they think about their coach. But if it's a scenario where you've been riding the hot hand, maybe the backup, the kid, Alex Lyon has been playing well, and then you hit a speed wobble. No, we're going back. We're making a goalie change. Then you go back to Bobrovsky. This wasn't DeSmith winning them some games, standing on his head, and then, tough patch. Now go back to Oettinger. I just can't imagine any of the guys, and they performed well. They got it to, it was what, 3-0. They got it to 3-2, then 4-2, then 4-3. They did battle last night. But I can't imagine the guys on that bench are saying, nice, DeSmith's in. All right, here we go. Fucking right.
No.
There's no chance.
And Pinder makes a good point, and we all see it. Are they awake when that game's like, are they covering anyone? I want the save from Oettinger, but the play around him was piss poor.
Yeah, he pretty much matched the effort of his skaters in front of him, didn't he?
Yes, it was they. They were all in at playing 80% to start that game. So way to go. And that's why you go and you turn around and you go, oh, you're going to pull me and your team's not ready? There's our questions. Hard questions that DeBoer should have to be asked.
They need a Rasmus Anderson really badly. Right shot, guy that's cap effective, and that like they're dog shit on the right side of that blue.
I know we talked about it. Keeping
that's a
Tanev would have been a
they
real
wanted to, and then
bonus.
the Leafs gave him the Robidas Island deal. So it's like, well, okay,
they could have used him.
Yeah, right shot defender. That's better than all the right shots they got. Now the question's going to be how much. Like they're starting to run out of assets. Like they've traded a lot of firsts and prospects. They sent Stankoven out to get Rantanen. They're also like much more capped out than like Carolina,
what's
for
the
example.
leadership group? Like I've always liked
decision on
Ben
Ben.
as a player, but these guys are all getting veteran. Duchesne's been a good signing, actually. I think.
Agent.
Yeah.
He's going to need a
He's
huge
been kind of
trade.
doing one year
Yeah.
deals the last little bit. Sagan right now looks okay, but he's
Hurt a lot.
right. He's got some miles
And it's
on him.
about Ben. He's up, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And Sagan's got 1 year left. He's making huge money. He's the captain. He's coming off an awful series. And how much you pay him? What's his appetite to come back? There's
Huge
video of
discount.
him in the dressing room last night. Everyone's left. There's the bin with all the jerseys and the laundry. Everyone's gone. Ben has not taken one piece of equipment off.
Well, I think that was from
Was that ages ago?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I saw that. That was
the final in the bubble.
okay.
Yeah.
So my apologies on that. And that's
But he's a heart and soul.
so. What and where's he at? Like he's not young. Is he retiring? Is he coming back? Does he want to play for $1 million?
I did.
I don't know.
You know what it is? It's like we give Treliving a hard time. You got to take some time and don't be. Today you feel a certain way. I'm pissed off at DeBoer for what he's done. Jamie Benn, where were you all series?
Yeah.
You don't need to score, but you need to be an imposing figure.
Be the equivalent to Evander Kane. Like just do that. Be big and physical on a third line.
You know, the coach has to get the team ready, but the captain is also, you can kind of dictate the momentum and the flow and the tempo of a game with how you play. Just didn't feel like he had anything to show. I guess against Winnipeg, he was going with Scheifele or whatever, but it's Jamie Benn. Non-factor. And again, is it the Oilers? Because they made, you look at Vegas, the one game they won, it was Riley Smith off of Draisaitl into his own net with 0.1 second left. That's their win. And they needed 3 third period power play goals to beat the Oilers in this series. Otherwise, you take those two little sequences of play, the Oilers crushed these two teams that were.
Yeah, LA gave them the toughest test.
You could almost hint at them winning 12 in a row because they
50
not
win seasons, both Vegas and Dallas, and they went through like shit through a goose on both of them.
Yeah, and again, like you could Washington and Winnipeg, like they also looked like at the end they were completely overmatched. It's just a different sport. Like Treliving talked about this all the time. The challenge of being a GM in the NHL is that you have to build a team that gets into the playoffs, and then you also have to have a team that can win in the playoffs. And those are very different makeups. And you can watch for the Oilers. A lot of the guys are playing really well for them where healthy scratches are non-events in the regular season.
But wouldn't you say that
brand of hockey?
Wouldn't you say that Dallas is more, if you look at Dallas lineup, it's supposed to be more of a playoff style team than a regular season team?
They've kind of traded out a bit of sandpaper and added skill. And that I still think they should be a good playoff team, but
Like
not as
Jason
pretty as
Robertson,
last year's team at all.
Robertson and Rupe Hintz
is hurt.
Didn't do themselves. Now Robertson had 3 in his last 2 or whatever it is. So he woke up near the end here, but too little too late. Wyatt Johnston,
awful playoffs,
did not have a good playoff for a guy he stirs the drink for them in the regular season. Duchesne is getting older. He has the one power play or with the one playoff goal this year. Rantanen outside of that 4-game stretch.
Goalless his last 8, I believe.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't notice him like his name's not being said enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a guy that Draisaitl will give you this. Well, hopefully Rantanen can wash him out, and then your depth can take care of.
So does Colorado take the lead in the who won?
No,
the Carolina.
I think it's Carolina. They got the furthest. They got 2 firsts. Stankoven's young. They got the cap space.
Okay, because I feel like it does shift. It's like, what are they doing? They lost. Oh, maybe they
look.
won.
And Marty Nate just gets over there and torches things, and you're like, wow, Colorado's really smart. Then they lose to Rantanen. You're like, okay, well, that's not very smart. I don't know.
That can ruin your summer if you're Jim Nill.
I think that Jim Nill's he's gonna have to get away from it and digest and do an evaluation. But the love affair that they get a lot of credit, and he got a lot of credit, and it's deservedly so. But your team didn't show up to compete, and maybe wasn't capable, and that's that's a statement on the Oilers' behalf. They're just maybe too damn good.
They dictated the tone of play for everything since Game 3 against LA.
Yes. Yeah. And so then if you're dictating the tone of play, just like the Oilers have been since Game 5, I don't know if they didn't even in Game 3 and 4 in the first round, but since Game 5, they've dictated every hockey game they've played. Yep. Of the first Game 5 first round, they've just said we're driving the car now. You don't get to play.
Yeah,
and
meet us at our game because we're telling you the game we're playing.
And I forget it. I don't know because I apologize. I don't know if it was a quote from last night or from McDavid. He says just this feels different than last year, and it absolutely does. Which is kind of where I started. You just felt like the Oilers have star players, but they're flawed. And they'll be exposed at some point. The wheels will fall off because of their warts.
Well, and look,
I am surprised. You see the guys that, yes, they can play defense. Their defensive game has gotten better.
Yeah.
And that's the issue is that you can't expose their warts because they're playing so well in front of the wart that you would. If you can get to, yes, like you're. I don't think that. Trust me, you've heard me take a run at all their defensemen. It's terrible. Well, they're not playing that way anymore, and they're playing really well. And so what's the wart that can hurt them? Skinner. No one gets to touch a puck. They're playing too well in front of them. The shitty goaltending doesn't even come into play. Skinner, just don't actually soil yourself and have to leave the net because we're in control of every shift, almost the whole game.
Yeah,
and they got 3 on 6. Dallas scored 3 on 17.
Yeah, and he allowed a bad one too, but they can survive that. Yeah. And you know that's the only Achilles heel. And now like you're up against a team that's done similar things to the teams in the East. And look, like we're being really critical of Dallas today, and we were really hard on Toronto. And when Carolina lost, these are all top 5 teams in the NHL, right? Like so, it's not like Jim Nill quit, burned down the Dallas Stars office. You're all losers. Like we understand that this is where the cream gets separated, and a 7-game series at this time of year can look uglier than what things might be a year from now or a year ago. But like the 2 teams here have bullied their oppositions. The 2 teams left have bullied the teams they've played right from Edmonton's case, Game 4 or 5 against LA, from Florida's case, beginning of the playoffs.
So the Oilers, and this is cherry pick. The Oilers have home ice advantage in the Stanley Cup final.
I don't mind that for Florida. If it gets to 7, you don't like it, but it's going on the road served the Oilers pretty well the last 2 series. You go get a split, you come home to your crazy building.
Is it 5 points ahead of the Flames? Is that where they finished?
A little more than that. Flames are 96.
Oilers 101.
Is that it? Mm-hmm. And that's what's so infuriating, right? Because it's like you watch the regular season, you're like,
is
this dress rehearsal? Or is this the sport's so different in the playoffs? And it's probably a bit of both.
Yeah, the sport's so different, and I'd be very worried. I don't know that the Oilers go ahead and it wouldn't surprise me if they win. I said they were going to win. They feel like they've got the right mentality and approach to things right now. But Florida's really good. The point I'm getting at is the way that team's playing. They look very poised and comfortable, and I don't think that next year it's a fucking piss yourself contest. This looks like a team that can do it over and over again. And everyone else in the league is going to have to find a way to overcome out east, Florida, out west, Edmonton. They're clearly, it's an obvious statement. They're the standard. What are you squinting at?
He's just
don't like that at all, Rhett.
Yeah,
take that back.
Yeah, I know. That's why we got to
look. They look great right now. They got to make some contract decisions. They're an old team. They don't have young kids coming, but what they've done for the last 2 months has been very impressive.
It's plug and play. It's plug and play. Not old Chuck has created a situation where, because I know they got guys come and go, and every team will have changes. Sure. Mm-hmm. None of them have to be studs. That you don't have to go get elites to fill the holes that they're going to, right? Like you're going to get guys that want to come because the team's going to be good. They're going to want to win, and they get to play with McDavid. And we've got a chance to win a cup again. Play your role. Here's your role. Do it, and we'll have success.
That kind of feels like this whole thing right now for them. It's like just be patient. We're going to score enough goals. Mm-hmm. Just
Focus on D. We'll get our goals.
just play smart.
Yeah.
And by the end of the third period, probably a good chance we'll have more goals than the other team. And that's oversimplifying, but it just felt like that was part of their, well, McDavid's got to get us back into this game. We got to just start the game, play smart. And the only other thing, and we did see it in that LA series, certainly in that game 1, when they roared back and McDavid gave them the lead and then that, or whatever, tied it, and then that weird goal. They haven't been flummoxed at all.
No, even
Those shots of McDavid and Leon on the bench, like, fuck, like there's been zero frustration or angst in their game because no one's been able to do it to them. They've been winning every game by 3 fucking goals. Some, like the Panthers, need to put a bit of seed of doubt, some fear of failure back into their game, because it's been about 3 weeks where they've just been playing shinny.
Yeah, and I think that's why I find the final so fascinating, because a lot of things you said about Edmonton are true about Florida, but one team's got a 2-time Vezina winner and the other guy is hot or cold and never in the middle. And he's looked like a replacement level netminder and a top 10 goalie in the league in the same playoffs. Like, that is the true wild card to me, is can they allow Edmonton playing how they're playing? Can they allow Skinner to have success against Florida? And if you're Florida, can we get under his skin early? Because that's their only Achilles heel. When they couldn't get a save early against LA, they got completely outclassed.
It would be nice to get a good series.
I hope we have a good series.
Because we got jobbed here.
I think
they gave us a good one last spring. I'll tell you that. Like, it didn't feel like it at the beginning, but there was some tense hockey at the end.
Yeah. And if it's not going to be good, I just make it quick the one way. Oilers are the early betting favorites.
Slight, yes. -120. Panthers are even money.
Yeah.
The statistical models like Florida a touch better, but it's very close to a coin toss. You're seeing a lot of 55, 53, 51% stuff.
Which is pretty impressive given what we know about Florida in their 3rd straight final, and this is the standard, and that the Oilers are favored, albeit slightly, over a team that's by some, hey, this is we're talking dynastic stuff here right now. With the
and that's what the Oilers should be. If this was a well-run team for a decade, like,
I know, right?
They should be the standard, shouldn't they?
I know.
When you start with those two guys? No?
Yes, I know. Vina Nova. Maybe buy yourself something nice.
Yeah, give myself a pendant. That'll call my.
Go and treat yourself today.
Get some ice.
Calgary's lab-grown diamond specialist, the only store in Calgary that specializes exclusively in lab-grown diamonds. You're not still buying those earth mine things, are you?
Dirty.
Come on, they're so dirty. VinaNova.com. The showroom is it's at Markham Mall. So much.
He's always mad when he's zoomed out.
I don't know where he goes. He's on, then he leaves.
Yeah. Going to get toast.
Yeah. Look at him.
Not happy.
A lab-grown diamond has the same chemical composition and crystal structure as an earth mine diamond. Lab-grown, hardness, light refraction is a natural diamond. I don't even like calling it natural. It's dirty.
Dirty.
These are pure. They're perfect. And can be as much as 80% in terms of savings off of that stuff that you dig out of the ground.
Crazy.
Isn't it?
Cleaner and more cost effective.
Yeah. VinaNova.com. Market Mall.
So if I'm walking around with fronts this summer and you're like, wow, those diamond teeth, what's going on? I just had to console myself after the
needed something. I needed some comfort.
Give myself a
Thought I deserved, give myself a break.
You like them?
Be kind to myself. Yeah. So big day today.
Distract everyone from the fact the Oilers won and look at my teeth.
Change the topic.
That's right.
This is a no Oiler talk.
Pivot. Shift your focus.
It's
a big day. The 999 has arrived. There's been some cockiness. There's been some trepidation.
There's been some swerves on the way.
Talk of prep. There's been some swerves. But today, call it tonight over at Greta. It is the 999. The Blue Jays take on the A's, and it'll be on the screens in the alley at Greta. And it will be that will be one show. That'll be one thing to watch. Right. Maybe the more entertaining will be the 999, as we have we've collected some folks that are going to take on the 999. 9 innings, 9 beers, 9 hot dogs.
9.
Can you complete it? The watching 9 innings of baseball can be done. For some, they say you can't do it. Maybe that'll be the hardest thing. The Jays and the A's.
You know what?
I can't watch this shit anymore.
Jack did the dogs. Jack did the beers. He wasn't paying attention to the game.
Yeah,
he
I've
lost.
had 10,
he didn't do it.
I've had 10 beers, 11 dogs, but I cannot handle this ball game.
That is a good question. Say you finish the 9 beers and the 9 dogs. It's the 8th inning, and I gotta like puke. Do I lose?
I would think the final out would be the wire you got to cross.
There's no losing. There's no losing.
Well, I mean, if you puke all over yourself at Greta, you are a loser.
Well,
There's
yeah,
that.
but again, it's not about overindulgence. It's just about challenging yourself.
Yeah, we're talking about the intestinal
That's
fortitude,
right.
your stomach.
Literally,
Yeah.
the intestinal.
We're not talking about puking because of alcohol. We're talking about because of how many dogs you rammed down your gullet.
You can have non-alcoholic beers, your beverage of choice, whatever it is. 9 hot dogs. Have you thought any more? We've talked a lot about the portion size is a bit of a stick.
I have a dog update from Greg.
Okay, so we'll get to that in a moment. Have you thought about your condiment game? Are you worried about condiment taking up space, or is it necessary in order to get them down to make them more appetizing for you?
I'm going plain all the way. No condiments.
Bald. Just bald dogs.
Bald dogs.
Bald dogs and
On the
beer.
bun. Beer.
Okay.
Yep. I'm not. What about you, Ryan? Are you doing condiments?
I might just do a strip of mustard for taste, but nothing that's going to, like, I'm not messing with relish and ketchup. I don't want, no, just less is more.
Okay. So this is about getting, it's a work day.
Yeah. We're putting in a shift.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I don't know how it's going to go until we see these dogs in person, but I would like to be 3 or 4 in of each as we're like entering the 3rd inning. I want to be ahead of things because the pace is going to slow.
Kind of like you
for
with
the
your
beer.
taxes. Get out in front of it.
Nope, the exact opposite. If it was my taxes, there'd be 2 outs in the 9th, and I'd be trying to hammer 9 dogs and 9 beers.
Yeah, I need 7 more dogs right now. I guess do you have any level of confidence in either of these two gentlemen, Rhett? Because we've sat on the sidelines, we've poked and pointed
a lot
fingers
of confidence a month ago, but since the dog photo, the confidence has waned on all fronts.
I believe in their commitment to the cause. My concern is even if you get it down, I don't think you're comfortable afterwards.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, this isn't one of those things where you're like, all right, where are we headed next? Like, let's hit the town kind of like.
Who wants golden tea?
Although if there's a guy to do it.
This is different. This isn't
a big red hat on.
I don't know that I'll be high kicking. I'll be probably like.
I watched him try to eat nuggets and he nearly croaked. Like, this is that plus, I think.
I was of the mind when we started this that this would be significantly less than the 43 nuggets. Now, when I see these dogs, I'm thinking this might be comparable.
I feel like you're giving zero thought to the amount of space the beer takes up.
Exactly. Like,
you took 9 beers right now and poured them into a bucket. What did that look like?
Well, and just go back to your
9.
Even if you're right on
the, not a 9. You're off your game.
Even if you're right on the dog compared to nugget event, you didn't drink 9 beers with those.
No,
nuggets.
I probably like 4 or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Like, I had a couple hours.
Yeah.
That's why I'm fascinated by it, because it's not like there's a lot of, no one has a real track record. No one has
you don't do this. Yeah. You're not leaning on that, what you did last Wednesdays.
Right.
Someone cruises through this. They are a spectacle. They're better men.
Wolverine said the guys at Blue Jays Nation, which are on our network in Toronto, the one guy had it waxed through 6 innings. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
But again, the dog is a key factor, which gets us to the hot dog update.
Okay.
Because this is where I think everything changed.
The dogs and the buns under heavy scrutiny, Retro.
The buns, I'm curious, but the dog is like,
he's not a foodie, so this is
like, what size is Joey Chestnut housing 90 of on Coney Island? It's not a jumbo. It's not a friggin' farmer's sausage. And so I chatted last night with our pal from Bonton Meat Market, Greg.
He's so concerned.
I was just curious because the photo would look to be like, what?
Yeah.
That does not look regulation. And I just said, those things look huge. To which he responded, they aren't huge, but they aren't the small, garbage, cheap ones. And my thought was, if you're doing a hot dog eating contest, are you not leaning absolutely into the smallest, garbage, cheap ones? Is that what they're ripping on Coney Island? I don't know. I really don't know.
That's not what Bonton is about. So
I get it. And I look, Bonton's not known for hot dogs. This is not their bread and butter. They do meats. They can get them in. They are known for high quality food.
This has been the thing right from the start.
I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to be using. I've never been to a hot dog eating thing. I don't eat hot dogs. I don't know what a regulation size is. I have no idea.
Red, I'm not sure.
You know what he's up?
I'm hearing panic.
It's a bit of panic.
You know what he's done? He's set himself up for failure so that he's got his out. He's it's the happiness hedge, but
we need some context here. It was hot that day. I needed more beer. I had 14 before we started because it was so hot out.
I can't show up till like 5 or I'll have 3 and that don't count. That'll be a total waste of real estate.
I know. So that's got to be it, right? Is anyone going to sing the anthem? Like, is there going to be?
Brett's going to sing the anthem.
Is there going to be a hot dog cutting ceremony to begin the event? Because I feel like none of the beers or dogs consumed prior to first pitch count. That has to be.
Oh, clearly not.
And we're underway.
First pitch has got to be it, I'd think.
Yeah. That
Someone was
right.
saying guys are doing it at actual ballparks in the States and they'd go early and just ram a bunch and get way ahead. But it's like, no, we're at Greta. We're watching the game. They're going to have their half-hour pregame show. They're going to go into the starting pitchers and here's your lineup and look who's moved up to the 3-hole. And then it's like, okay, here's first pitch. We're underway. Boom. That's your first stop.
Jack, we need to hear from you.
Much like Ryan, I've been setting myself up for failure all week long. So I'm at the absolute lowest point today.
Oh,
emotionally
was your down day.
Oh, if I don't feel like I already feel like I feel like shit already. I don't know. I don't want to do this anymore.
My prediction is this.
Oh.
You will cruise through it.
Really?
Yes. Not to say that it's not going to be you'll get to the end and say, no big deal, I'd eat and drink more. That you've probably going to had enough hot dogs and beers by the end of the 9th inning. But I believe you will be victorious. Wow. And you too.
Thank you, Dean.
I don't think so, because Ryan's quinoa system is going to go right out of whack when the dogs start entering the bloodstream.
I know where the cameras are. I can dodge out of there and get some grease.
He's just such an animal, though. Right? He's not a regular human.
I'm just saying that I saw him with the Nuggets and he looked like his head was spinning. I think he's going to be
a little delusional. I don't know that I'm good at this. I don't. Like, there's things where I'm like, yeah, I'll floor it and I know I can hang. I don't know if I'm any good at competitive eating.
You will get ahead of, this is my prediction, is he will get ahead of himself. He will stay comfortably in front on the hot dogs. Because he knows he'll be able to catch up on the beers. Hammering 2 beers in the last, like 2 gone here in the bottom of the 9th. 2 beers left, no problem. He'll find a way to get the beers in. It'll be the pacing of the hot dogs for sure.
And
that has him most concerned.
Yes.
So I think he will take care of that business early.
How do you here? I'm just throwing this out right now. Just popped in my head. What if you quickly put back 2 beers, like zing, zang, and then just start munching a dog? Is that disaster? If you just filled yourself with foam and you're no good?
Your body's different than.
That's what I'm doing.
You funnel a couple quick?
Yeah. Like, I want to be done 5 beers by the end of the second.
So what are you, because we know obviously Ryan, it's the hot dogs and the buns and the size. He's not, what are you concerned about? Is it the beers?
No, I'm not. I'm concerned about the dogs as well.
That's why you're getting the beers out of
That's why I want to
eat all that real estate for the last hour and a half.
Yes.
That feels cart before the horse to me.
I don't know.
You're less worried about the beers. Look, so you're getting them done first.
We're making this up as we go.
I love it.
I might change my mind 10 minutes in.
You're gonna lose the beer volume faster than we will lose the dog volume.
This is my thought. If you have a stomach full of beer or a stomach full of hot dogs, what's draining quicker? The beer's going to run through you. So you get a couple beers through you, at least, maybe more, and then you're not trying to pour beer into a full chamber at the 9th inning.
It's so great. It's the 3rd inning. You haven't had any hot dogs? No, I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
God, if you get behind on dogs, I just think you're screwed. You got to be ahead of innings on dogs.
You'll be great.
I'm going to be an idiot.
You will be great.
When I vomit on something
Jack,
like Greta, I apologize.
There will
in
be no
advance.
vomit. You will not feel, You'll
How
maybe only go
fast-
out for a couple to the ship after.
How fast can you consume 9 beer?
I think
What
you
if
could
you got-
probably get 3 in pretty quick, and then after that, there's just no room. You're going to puke.
I'll tell you what, it was a week ago today. I sat here and watched some redhead in your seat funnel about 5 in about 45
And those
minutes.
are tall boys. That's probably like 7 with the exchange rate. Maybe 8.
Commodore straight from the gym comes in, has a beer on the couch before he comes in. Looked like there was a card game or something going on in here when you guys left. Anyway, thank you to our sponsors. Greg at Bonton is the best. Everything we do, he donates, he gives, and we love him for it. And yes, it's not his wheelhouse, but
He's taking care of us.
you can get your hot dogs. You can get whatever it is you want at Bonton Meat Market. Crowfoot up in Crowfoot. I'm just thinking now of the other sponsorship opportunities we could have had, like aprons and plastic barf bags and
some sort
garbage
of
bags,
cleaning service.
Yeah, some antacids, that sort of thing. Bonton Meat Market, 28 Crowfoot Circle in the Northwest. Origin Brewing, they are supplying the Barn Burner Blonde for all of us today. OriginBrewing.ca. They've got their new seltzers out retro.
I saw this.
The
I did not know
seltzers
this
are
was a
out.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
What? They got seltzers?
Dude, old Deeper up at BK Beaufort Liquor was posting videos. I'm like, what are all these new ones?
They've got their iced tea, the hard iced tea, which
Unreal.
is tremendous. And they've added some, there's a watermelon, there's a mango. So go originbrewing.ca or go to BK Beaufort, free plug. There you go, Deeper. But you'll find them. They are going to be in stores and at the tap rooms, of course. They're going to be able to get your cans of those in Calgary and in Strathmore at the tap rooms. And Greta, our host, Casey, getting things set up. Is he getting on a plane after?
Road.
He's got a flight to Vancouver after this, and he's doing it with us.
He's not intimidated like you wusses.
He hasn't seen the dogs. Well, he has. He picked them up this morning.
They got
I was
picked up today.
texting
Yeah,
him.
now he'll know.
I gotta see what
Yeah.
he says.
Yeah, you need what is the story?
What's the
on
dog
hot dogs?
story?
Yeah, and Platinum Mitsubishi on board with us with this one again. Mitsu, the Outlander, Mike Gould. What a guy. What a guy.
Good.
We'll do the Pinder Report presentation of our friends at Village Honda. They want that pre-owned vehicle, money where their mouth is, the $1 million buy-in event. They want to load up that used car lot, the pre-owned lot, complimentary appraisals. If you do find, you strike a little deal. You know what? That's put her there, pal. Payment in 24 hours. No obligation. All the details are online at villagehonda.com. Pinder Report.
Jack, I have an update on the hot dogs. We will file that in right after 99 at the end of the Pinder Report.
Okay.
We've got new photos from different angles out of a freezer, and we'll see.
Context.
Context is crucial. Very important. Here's some context on the Calgary Flames over at FlamesNation.ca, right? Dan Vladar's a UFA. He was making 2.2. Oh, the Flames are a, quote, main contender, end quote, to sign Russian netminder Ivan Prisvetov. Okay. Played for Phoenix for a while. He actually
messing around. Keep your goalies. Stop messing with this.
You want to keep this one in?
God. Yes.
At what price? Because you were getting him
What?
3 the other day. That's ridiculous for what he does.
Wow.
He's already making 2-2.
That's what I mean.
He's going to want to raise.
well, and
Cap's going up.
Sure, but has he earned the raise, or is he still the guy that hasn't? I don't know. It
I
feels like it's
have a nice, comfortable relationship in the room. That matters. Do you think Noodles was good at hockey?
Oh, jeez. This is not a noodle situation. I actually think Dan Vladar might have the appetite to play more than 30 games and get out of here. Is more my
Well,
thought.
that's up to him. But if he's interested in
and
staying,
so
they gotta,
your job as the Flames is if Dan Vladar ain't committed to being here, you got to go
I
find another.
thought we had this Cooley guy with all the.
He was great till he was injured, and then he was dog shirt. So you probably want to bring someone in to push Cooley, don't you?
Yeah, because
Enter
now we're gonna search
Rosetta.
again for more goalies.
Eh.
Get this shit off the screen, Jeff. Next.
Well, what I won't tell you, Rhett, is that he's a 26-year-old, 6'5" Russian who played at Moscow last year, CSKA.
Oh, he's a tall goaltender.
Sport Express hockey reporter Mikhail Zislis has the scoop.
Mikhail's got it, buddy.
Well, he is Russian, and the Flames.
Connie loves his
Connie
Russians.
does.
Connie, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, one more night.
Connie's a commie? Is that what you were saying?
Something like that. Huh?
Jeez.
We'll move along since Rhett is not taking the bait on talking about backup goaltenders of the Flames here on this 30th day of May.
Take this shit down, Jack.
Well, we had a game last night, and yeah, it's
I feel like we've talked about it plenty.
didn't really matter at the end of the day, did it, Miko? You had your choice.
Yeah.
You got your balls in that suitcase?
The only thing we don't know is what would have happened if his agent and the Avs GM had been on the same page and he stayed there. Probably beat Dallas. The rest, who knows?
Well, he certainly beat the Avs.
He sure did. Hockey gods and Mikko Rantanen going full beast mode was the difference in that series that the Avs controlled for large swaths. All right. We got some Pete DeBoer fallout. We showed you this earlier. Oh, shoot. That's the DeBoer sword. Remember that?
I do, yeah.
Noted player agent Alan Walsh posted after Marc-Andre Fleury that paved his way out of Vegas.
Saying it got stabbed in the back is kind of what.
Yeah.
If you want to read in.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, this one wasn't put out by the agent. This is actually people making fun that the agent actually went and clipped part of this.
Drew, yeah.
He'd even left like the cursor, if you remember, on the old one. More on DeBoer and Oettinger. Yeah, there it is. DeBoer can get you to the conference final. I don't know if he hasn't been able to get anyone past that. And those are some good teams he had. That's as close as San Jose got with that core.
It's a tough league, Rhett.
It is. You get to the Final Four, there's some good teams.
It's a tough league.
Did you play in it, Rhett?
When did that start? When did it start to be a tough? Like, it didn't used to be.
Yeah, probably the best of 7 when they switched from the Challenge Cup.
Tough league.
1920s. Well, I mean, look, we shouldn't be surprised, I guess. They've been the 2 best teams since this tournament started on the whole. And somebody saw this coming. Wasn't Rhett, wasn't me, wasn't Boom, wasn't AI. It was Matthew Tkachuk in last year's handshake line.
See you next year.
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 We put cameras out of their face.
Say that again, Rhett.
Get the cameras out of their face. It's like Paul Murray said, let the guys shake hands.
Yeah, we'll get more on Paul in a moment. You're going to like that. So we get the rematch. It's not easy for teams to meet again. In fact, the last time we saw it was 08-09. I believe Ty Conklin was on the losing side of both the Wings and Penguins. I think we saw a Hossa swap in there too.
Hossa, yeah.
2 years in a row where the same teams go. Typically they split, but not always. Wings and Pens split. Islanders and Oilers split. Habs before that, I believe, won both. It was also kind of misleading in the late 60s. They had 6 expansion teams in one division, the original 6 in another. So, yeah, the original 6 team cleaned the clock of the team that came out of the expansion side in the final. Anyway, pretty rare. Also, what's rare, when you lose in the Stanley Cup final, getting back to it's hard because you've had a long offseason, you're pissed, and you need everything to go right. Florida just did it to win the Cup last year. Now the Oilers will try to repeat the feat. Prior to these 2 teams doing back-to-back years, all the way back to 08-09 with Pittsburgh. And then the Oilers in 83-84 after the Islanders dynasty window was closed. That's not a lot for the last, 40 years.
There's just too much data pointing in a certain direction.
Don't know what you're talking about. Let's keep moving, shall we? Corey Perry's back in the final. That's Corey Perry doing Corey Perry things.
Cheering me up.
Gosh, you must have a lot of rings, hey?
More than us.
Fair. Peak pain is still out there for Oilers fans.
I'm aware.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it can feel real grim as a Flames fan here. It really could. But there are still positive outcomes to be had. What else have we got, Jack? Oh, dear. They touched it. Rhett, did you guys touch the Campbell bowl?
Yeah, I think Dummy brought it into the dressing room and everything. It was
Jeez.
Told not to.
Okay, so
Yes,
this is
kid.
the watch
Don't-
party in Shelbyville at the rink. Edmonton. Everyone's like, yeah. Oh. No! What the hell? Some kids all over it.
I don't
All right.
understand why he did touch it if that's all they were doing.
Well, Elliot Friedman's got the data, Rhett, because you asked, and he knew you'd be asking. Here's the thing. They didn't touch it last year. How'd that go? They were a couple goals away from winning. Also a couple goals away from getting swept.
And then they said that about the Panthers, didn't they?
Well, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Panthers, whatever they did, touch, no touch, they lost. So then they did the opposite the next year.
You got to
and
switch it
won.
up unless you're winning. You're winning, you keep doing what you're doing.
Connor was asked about it last night afterwards. So you touched the trophy. Just thought, well, last year we didn't,
Yeah. How'd that go?
and we lost.
So this year.
So this year, figured touch it and hopefully we win. Great question.
Did he say great question?
No, that was me freelancing a little bit.
Okay, that's fair. It's creative liberty there. And a reminder, at one point, the Stars were ahead in this series. They had 5 power play goals in the third period. You saw this look on the bench, and they haven't had a lead since. Not even a single moment is noted here. Don't see that look again, is what
It
you're
was a
hoping
great
for.
night, though, down in Big D. They had a great night that night. Old Tits McGee behind the bench was having a time.
T. McGee.
Yeah. Guess they're put away for the summer, right?
I think they're just coming out. I don't know.
Don't know how that works.
Those rinks are cold.
I thought maybe it's hot in Texas. Maybe
That's what I mean.
shield them.
It's hot.
Yeah.
And so the question will be, how do Oilers fans handle this? Are we seeing a measured, calculated, calm, poised fan base? Are we seeing an over-arrogant fan base? Well, a little bit of a mixed bag, Rep, but the one consistent throughout the entirety of the playoffs has been Oilers fans hurting Oilers fans. Let's go to the Moss Pit. That's some free CTE. We got knocked out and went cranium first into concrete. I believe this is called a recreation or hobby in Edmonton. What are we doing here, fellas?
Oh, you hit your head hard on
You
that.
just handed out free brain damage there.
No
Oh,
one seems
okay.
overly concerned. Like,
No, they were too worried about getting it on their socials. What are we doing?
Oh, I can't even. Jeez.
Oh, that's right to the back of the head.
The thing is, he's not going to wake up smarter. He was not
No.
standing there taking a
He's
shot.
already at the Moss Pit. He's not got a lot to begin with. Jeez.
I hope that kid's all right. Jeez.
I know. Why are you doing this, Edmonton?
Ryan, what do you?
Now, bad news. We noted Oilers slight favorites.
Uh-huh.
Favorites have done well this postseason.
Yeah.
Not high seeds, but betting favorites. 13 of 14 of them have moved on. Now, some of these lines have moved. The Edmonton LA series, before it started, you could get both as favorites at one point. So it's not a perfect stat. But generally speaking, the books, chalky playoffs. So what I'm saying is the underdogs do. Maybe.
Is that what you're saying?
Time for Canada's team, Dean. A year ago, they saved us.
Please stand if you're able. Remove your hats.
Join George Cannon as we sing the Florida Canada national anthem. Please, hockey gods, be kind. We'll move on. Paul Maurice has feelings about handshake lines. We talked about him yesterday. Oh, he's pissed. There's Knobloch out there shaking hands.
Yeah.
How dare you? The nerve. You know who'd never do that, Red?
Paul Maurice.
No, because Paul Maurice did that last year in the final.
Oh, did he? I see.
That's right. But this year, you know who'd never do that, Red? No, Paul Maurice did that in round one, too. What is going on?
I feel
Did
like
he just make something up? Was he doing acid the other night?
I feel like his heart's probably in the right place.
I know, but it's just crazy. That's like 2 weeks ago, a month ago.
Like maybe, how about at the coaches or GMs meeting or something in Del Boca Vista in February or something? Well, let's just handshake line for the players only. We take all the staff and that out of it. That feels like maybe rather than having this noble crusade.
In the middle of the playoffs, he switched course.
You know what it is? Paul's he's a
Mind games.
no, he can see the future. He saw that poor kid get whacked in the moss pit and fall back and hit his head. Look at Paul there. Is he wearing safety?
No protection.
Here? Is there any right
on those shoes? Nope.
Or maybe Maurice
poor bastard could go down. It could be the end of him.
Maybe he doesn't want to shake McDavid's hand after he puts it right in his tuchus. There you go, Maurice. Want to shake my hand? No, you don't, eh?
So that whole thing, the post game, like waxing poetic for 2 minutes. Literally a month ago, he's out there shaking hands. That's so funny to me. Oh, and by the way, Jack was asking, we were researching. Rod Brind'Amour's final season as a player in the NHL was the 08-09 campaign. That was Paul Maurice's first year.
And Rod.
The greats.
So there was 1 year of overlap. Is he trying to bully him, Jack? What are you thinking? Oh, he's coach's guy. I'll just tell him what to do. I'm going to flex on him here.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he hates Rod, but he did it the other round.
I know.
Maybe this is the most boring topic ever.
It's just weird. I don't get it. By the way, 2 teams eliminated this week, so we need to say goodbye to them in proper crying Jordan fashion. There's Oettinger on the bench. Oh, dear. I guess right next to Ray Ferraro. Yeah.
It'll get better, bud.
And there's Rod. It's not a sweep. Well, kind of is, right? Well, it wasn't a sweep. Oh, we didn't lose. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Sorry. Is this meme ever going to get old or no?
I'm okay with it.
Before it began, it was. Yeah.
It's been heavily used. I got an update out of Buffalo, Rhett. Jarmo Kekalainen's joining their front office, senior advisor. A report to Kevin Adams. Seems backwards.
I mean, in a tale as old as time, congrats to Jarmo Kekalainen on becoming the next GM of the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, it does. This is a Jay Feaster in to help Daryl Sutter vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yikes.
No, Joel Quenneville's just going to help Denny Savard maybe run some drills or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yarmo's
Adams had a half a brain. He'd have done that from the start. And
Yarmo's in Kevin Adams' office. I don't know. What color do you think would look good in here?
Oh.
But we just painted like 6 weeks ago. Yeah, I know, but I just
freshen it up.
I'm kind of fond of.
We like what Jarmo Kekalainen accomplished in Columbus, though.
Yes and no. The results of the team are not good, but I really think he did some good mining in the draft, and I think you started to see it this year with all those young Russians that he's taken.
Well, luckily, he's now left a team where it's hard to lure free agents in a non-desirable market to a hotbed.
So you didn't like how the team did, but you liked what he did?
Well, I would just say, like, how much time out do you need to really judge a GM? Like, if he puts all these pieces in place for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, and then he's gone and they're good 2 years later, like, there's still a lot of Jarmo
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. It's one fuck of a long time in the sports.
I know.
What's the proper leash?
It's a very mixed bag is how I feel about it. I think he's a smart guy. I don't think his teams were nearly as good as they should have been. I love that he had Stones and he walked Bobrovsky and Duchesne and Panarin into free agency trying to chase a cup. But then when they lose, you're like, oh, that probably wasn't the right move.
That's Stones. What about the hiring of his coaches and the fire? Like,
yeah, no, the Babs was a horrible decision. Very mixed bag. In my opinion.
Babs one was.
I don't know where your positives are. I'm confused.
The draft. He's done well in the draft.
Yeah, but if you could go to any team and go, well, they've drafted some good players and some bad players. Like, what's his track record compared to others that
pick high all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we talked you out of it.
I don't love him, but I do think it'd help.
Do you think that Jarmo and Lindy are the answers? Like that's the key to victory in Buffalo?
No, but remember, Kevin Adams is probably selling like sweets before he got that job. He had nothing.
He was running the Junior Sabres organization.
Yeah, he was on the business side with the Sabres, right? Like, literally, you can go and look, and it's like business. Oh, now you're the GM. Like, at least this man has a decade of like understanding the CBA.
Well, Kevin Adams is almost at a decade.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think this is a guy that's going to win Executive of the Year anytime soon. But they need someone that knows something more than Kevin Adams. I think he falls in that category.
Okay. To me, I look at it and go, what the hell are you accomplishing by doing this? Like, so again, you're hiring someone that you might be good, but you're not sure.
Yarmo's strength was always credited as like a talent evaluator before he got the GM job there.
Because he was with St. Louis, right? He was.
So what? Everyone could. Is he good at it? What's the track record above everyone else? Like, that's right. Oh, he's known as a power play specialist. We had 1 goal on the power play last year. Why is he a great talent evaluator? And if he is, why hasn't it worked out?
Yeah, like that was the rep. I'm not saying he is hard and fast. I'm saying when he got hired as a GM rep, that was the track record. I'm not saying it's accurate, but he has done very well drafting guys out of Russia. He's also swung and missed high. Like, it kind of looks like a lot of GMs in this league. It's like,
why do you stipulate out of Russia? Because Russia's
because they picked a lot of Russians in the first round. That's why. Like, if you look at Marchenko, Vorenkov, the guy who no one knew his bloody name when they drafted him in the first round. Like, that's impressive. They've found some guys that it's hard to draft out of Russia. He's done well there. Am I overstating things?
I think a little. Like I think I'm looking at it. It's okay. Like,
and again, I'm not saying he's great. I'm just saying, like, they've got a lot of young Russians that have high pedigree. It started to come together this year for the first time ever. I don't know.
Yeah. Missed the playoffs.
They far overshot their expectations, but yeah, they did not. They were not a playoff team. Where'd they draft Marchenko and Vorenkov and et cetera, et cetera?
Well, Shinnikov went at 21. Voronkov in the 4th round.
That's a nice pick. Yeah.
Okay. Marchenko was in the 2nd round.
Nice. Yeah. So that's sort of why.
So that's 2 guys.
Just 3 Russians.
Liam Foodie in the 1st round hasn't been
not
great.
ideal. Yeah.
So we can evaluate Russian players.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he's got a great network there. Maybe he's just flipping coins. I have no fucking idea.
I wonder.
Listen, I am only concerned about it because it's my beloved Buffalo Sabres and they're horseshit, and they've been horseshit for way too long. And the people in that town deserve better. And I don't think this is the guy to do it.
I agree, Rhett. Memorial Cup. We'll have our semifinal today as Moncton faces London. The winner will face Medicine Hat on Sunday. Good luck to the Tigers and to Andrew Basha, Flames second returned in the postseason. Not to mention some kid named McKenna, who I think would look great in red in a few years.
And to all kids who have maybe had their name called by the Medicine Hat Tigers as of, a few weeks ago. It's just one big family, right?
I guess so. Eh?
Once a Tiger, always a Tiger.
Yeah. I don't know. Ask Brock.
Oh, that was the thing on Brock the other day. Now, something interesting happened in the Jays game yesterday. First off, they scored more than like 3 runs, which is incredible. I think they even had double digits in runs.
Nice.
But here's the thing. When you start hitting dingers.
You ever caught a home run or a foul ball, Retro?
Yep.
Really?
One? Foul?
Foul ball. Yep.
Where were
you? Do you think I sit in the shitty seats way out in the outfield? Had to be a foul ball. I'm behind. What?
Fancy boy.
Did the fielder toss it to you when you were sitting right beside the dugout?
Please hand this to someone in the diamond seats. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Yes.
So anyway,
I caught one.
It would be exciting to catch a home run ball.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Ernie Clement, 3 for 5 with 7 total bases yesterday. He parks one. Right. Well done.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Same seat, same game, same kid.
Home runs.
Jeez.
Just the Jays hitting 2 home runs in a single game is amazing. Never mind.
Also amazing.
You know how many seats are out there, Red? You know how many losers are in the bad seats in the outfield? There's thousands of them. Poor, unwashed scrubs. There's thousands of them out there. What are the odds you could go to this
These are the people,
unwashed, impoverished child out there?
Those are the losers that participate in 999s and shit like that.
I think he's made his decision. It took till 11:43.
Hopefully he got home with the ball after taking the Metro because he didn't have a car to get to the game.
Right. Calgary Surge were in action last night. Took some young fellas to the game. Left after 3 quarters. They were down by 15. Fellas, we're gonna get you to bed. It's getting late.
The honey badges and the honey badges don't quit.
Never quit. They're not going to blow a 15-point lead. They don't quit. Well, hang on. Let's go to the target score. I believe 98 or is it 89?
Both teams in the
89.
penalty. He drives. Millermore picked up by Osifo.
There's your walk-off. They rally from
they went over, so you
15
gotta
down.
start. If you go
Look
over,
at Sergio trying to get in there like he's on the team. Get out of there, Sergio. It's the mascot.
Name drops. Look at the fans rushing the court.
Those honey badgers are in tough. Oh,
so you were what an atmosphere to be at, Ryan.
It was a little more somber when we left when they were down a dozen.
Oh, so you weren't there for that.
It's bedtimes.
So you're not like a honey badger at all.
No, and you know what? Jason from the Surge came up and said, "You're jinxing us." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "This is the worst we've played all year, and it's only 3 quarters you've been here." I'm like, "Well, maybe I'll leave and things will get better."
Mm-hmm.
Dean?
All right.
Dean, we
Yeah.
need to have that chat.
I was gonna say, maybe I'm the jinxie.
So about
pants.
this time off.
Right. Why don't we make it permanent? Calgary FC on TSN this weekend, tomorrow afternoon against Stinkin' Forge in Hamilton. Top 2 clubs in this league now in year 7. Every year they're there. A rematch of last year's championship game as well.
Big Earn from Hamilton wants to come on the show.
Yes. Good.
Or he's going to be back around Stampede. He goes, I'm coming in. We're doing a
Amazing.
show.
Beauty.
Love it. Ran into him at
He might help coach with Chris Gratton.
Oh, Grattel?
Help coach what?
Junior B or something. Not full time, just when he's around, he can help out.
Now, do you guys know the name Xavier Leggett? He's a wide receiver that went in the first round of the Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
He went to the Carolina Hurricanes game, and he's known for like just this huge personality, tons of fun.
He's a sweet boy.
And just like smiling ear to ear at all times. He's never been to a hockey game. It's a almost 2 minutes of this. We don't need to do it all, but just watch the enthusiasm of the young man at his first NHL game, Rat.
Hey, you ain't tell me the hockey pucks come flying over here, man. Oh, oh, boy, these folks going crazy, boy. Hey, yeah, they doing that thing. Boy, he got down there clothesline, boy, right in front of me, boy. What's my boy name from OKC with the Braves? Shea Alexander. He right there. He tough. He's right. Hell no. This my first time seeing this, boy. Oh, boy.
Anyway, he's having a blast. Welcome to Raleigh. The Panthers play in Charlotte, which is just down the road. But I think he's a Canes fan, Dean. He said at the very end, he's like, I'm going to be back. This is my first game. I'm going to be back.
That's nice. I saw some video of him interacting with people. He's filling his car up with gas. And it's like, just this kid's the nicest kid in the world.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Yes, that's a nice car. Yeah, it is a nice car.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's why I bought it. We've seen this trick before. You just quickly knife in and then pull your hand out before the bear trap closes.
Yep. You got to be speed, Dean.
You got to practice the speed. It's not just down. It's got to be down and then up quick. Down and then up. Down and then up. See? Oh, a little harder. A little harder. Come on now. You got to hit the thing. Oh, that didn't work at all.
If you could back it up just a touch there. Jack.
Let's get to the whiteboard, Jack, if we could.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
He was full of hesitation. You commit, you got to commit. You didn't commit. Second guess yourself.
Is he already missing a part of his pinky? It looks like there's.
It's a very short pinky, or he's got a nub. Yeah.
This is not his first time. Well, that's how you do it.
Yeah, I can see why there might be a piece missing.
If you get back up just a touch there, Jack.
Back
I believe if you go slowly, there's perhaps beer involved in this event. Saw a cooler behind him.
It's weird.
Right
and
he's ripping the dart. He's on her head. He goes right for a rip of the dart. He's like, "Oh God, this hurts! Quick, dart, save me."
You know what? It would be if there was audio. How did they get to that point?
Yes.
Probably just sitting there having.
You won't do it. Yes, I will. I can do it
already.
You know what I did? I got caught in that bear trap. Oh, that's bear traps for pussies. What? I don't know about you, dude. I do it. I'm too quick for that shit.
Snap.
Speaking
of snaps, this is a new way to shotgun a beer on the golf course. Now, non-alcoholic or alcoholic, we don't really care. This is a snapping turtle. Oh. Just to get the neck that goes bang. I bet. Good technique.
Oh, I see. It's like, yeah.
He makes the hole for you.
Yeah.
Gonna aim on the bottom third and then quickly. Nicely done. You hope that turtle doesn't have hepatitis Q or some disease you've never heard of. Okay.
Yeah.
Gassing up your boat's expensive, Rhett. They sure take a lot of gas.
Question to be okay. Well,
here's the thing, though. It can be more expensive if you don't know what you're doing.
What's wrong?
Are we washing the boat or what are we doing here? Hose, puddle.
You gotta I was gonna make this mistake ever.
$540.
31
gas.
They thought this was the petrol.
And then that's the hole that's, oh boy.
That's a fire hazard.
It's like a bimini hole, not the gas tank. And he just pumped for like 20 minutes. The whole boat's full.
No way.
Jeez.
Although that thing did say $500.
531.
And that's in liters. That's someone in Canada making that mistake. What are we doing here?
This is keep it away from the sparks.
Seriously.
And how the F is gas in Alberta and Calgary at some places $1.17, at some places $1.41. There's stupid everywhere, Ryan. I had too much stupid.
Brett's done. He's done with stupid.
More stupid. Stupid.
Are you going to be able to avoid stupidity?
Stupid. More stupid. And don't be stupid.
Stupid bus is full today.
Maybe I'm the stupid one.
It really is a three-act play. Maybe I'm the stupid one. Let's keep moving. Marta Loop. We've talked about the construction. It's no fun.
What?
But you know what?
Is there?
Some people are finding a way to be good citizens. So, it might suck trying to find parking. Imagine running a business here. So we've got a local influencer going to dinner at the most construction-riddled place in Marta Loop. Let's go.
So there's tons of construction in Marta Loop, as you know. So we're going to go find the restaurant with the most construction in front of it and eat dinner there tonight so we can support. Let's see where we end up.
Oh boy. That's jeez.
Could hit a log wedge from here.
Yes, this is on our block. Oh boy.
That's not me, good people.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, they might have found the worst one here coming up. Buried in construction, Annabelle's Kitchen. If you do happen to get trapped in here and you can't find your car or parking, just throw the hazards on and support one of these local businesses. That's probably the takeaway here.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah. It's not, what was that? It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not your fault.
Panama Canal.
Yeah.
And finally, we close with a dog update supplied by Casey from Greta and a famous person's story about 999s.
999, that was tough.
Oh my God.
Wait, did we tell you about this?
No, what happened? There's a challenge that's no one should do.
Yeah, it's 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, and 9 innings.
The baseball, yeah.
And the games move faster now.
We got there early. O'Connor had 7 hot dogs done before the national anthem.
Wow. He just started pounding.
He was like, I'm gonna handle this well.
Joey Chestnut.
He was sick the whole game.
In the third inning, he was fully asleep.
Yeah, he
5
woke
beers
up and we were
left.
like, bro, you're so close. He got the beers easy, but we were like, bro, you're so close. Just eat 3 hot dogs right now.
Yeah.
He did it.
Hot dogs.
Who did it? You failed. You did like 15
I couldn't
beers.
eat the hot dogs.
Yeah. Colin puked.
Get it out.
Literally every single person.
Colin.
Everyone puked.
These fellas know what they're doing too.
Yeah.
These aren't like
These are quinoa.
Nibbly vegans. These are chunky Americans struggling with this. Jeez.
Yeah,
So
they're
Shane
going.
Gillis, you got 15 beers. Does that kind of start to cancel out
Can I
hot
borrow?
dogs? Is that how
Every
it works?
2 beers over
Carry
the top, I can delete a
Carry
dog.
the 2. I'm not sure.
If that's the case. I'm singing tonight.
How does that make you feel, Jack?
Not great. He also started before the game.
Yeah, what are you doing? 7 by the anthem?
That's what I told you.
I wonder if it's different, though. I wonder if it's different if you're at the ballpark.
Well, that's the thing. We're not at the ballpark. I could go to Greta at noon today.
And I would give you the starting point of the coverage.
The broadcast, 5 o'clock sharp. We can go.
I would be. I'm a
anthems.
giver. I said earlier, the first thing I said in the show is we have to support each other in our times of need right now in Southern Alberta.
That's right.
I would be willing to grant you that.
Dean, how do you feel about that?
I'm good with, because Rhett's
5
right.
o'clock
We
start.
do need allow ourselves some grace.
We need
be
all
kind
help
to
we
each
can
other
get.
and ourselves.
Yeah. Do we still remove our hats and put our dogs down for the anthem, or when you're watching on TV, do you not need to?
So when are you saying it's
5 o'clock for a 5:07 first pitch is what he's suggesting. An extra 7 minutes.
Could be big.
I'll take it.
Yeah, could be.
That could be 2 beers or 8 in Jack's case.
Might be big.
And there are the dogs. They've arrived at Greta.
See, you're fine.
That's a better angle. I like that.
is-
I'm less worried. I see there's an arm in there to give me some scale.
Well, yeah, but why didn't he put the hand there to right on top? That would have been nice to know. Anyway, that does look
I feel
more
better.
achievable.
That's reassuring, right?
That is very. They did not look regulation in the other photo. That's. I feel much better. Jack, can't wait to see you at Greta tonight.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's your Pinder Report.
There
on
you
a
go.
Friday. The roller coaster never stops.
Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall, online at villagehonda.com. Stay tuned here. We're going to have some details. We're going to be up at Village for an unveil coming up in a couple of weeks.
Of it?
That's right. Come by and check out. I don't want to say too much. Partly because I don't know too much.
Right.
I don't know a lot about what's happening, but there's something happening. And we're very excited for it. Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. Your dealership for
life.
Are we cooking hot dogs up there?
I'm sure they wouldn't frown on it.
They got nice
Want it.
spread usually. They don't let us touch the food. They got caterers come in.
Yeah, that's right.
Quite lovely.
Yeah. We'll get details on that too. Because is that the next day that is the tournament, the golf tournament for Origin?
Back to back, yeah.
Yeah. What a week that's going to be. So when does the Cup final start?
4th, Wednesday. Game 1, Edmonton.
Do I take my kid?
He's going to want to wear the Panther gear, right?
I'm not going to bring it up, but I'm just, if he brings it up, I'm going to feel
You're going to need
some
an answer.
obligations.
Now, is he wearing his Panther gear again? Are you ready to throw hands with some
I'm okay
dude with
with-
truck nuts
I don't
and
mind
paint the
chucking.
face?
If it's a loser in an Oiler jersey, I would be okay with chucking.
I don't think there will be many of them there.
No, that's true. I don't see that at all when you pan the 18,000 plus there.
I just want the high ground, like we always see. You got to have the high ground.
That is true.
Maybe you should go right to the 3rd deck top row. That'll be a great place for you. Lots of high ground there.
Don't
So
we
of
get
course
in as media? Don't we get in? Can we?
As media.
As media.
Okay.
Bet365. Want to get in on the action for the Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365? They got you game props, player props, totals, the money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, the Stanley Cup champions, and much, much more. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, get into the game. Official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 or older.
Got a couple of bets for the Jays game tonight. I like Ernie Clement and
Old Ernie
Alejandro to both go over 1.5 total bases. It's plus 155 for Clement, who went 3 for 5 yesterday, and Kirk has been playing very nicely, plus 140 for over 2 bases. Also, if you want to know the odds on the Stanley Cup final, there they are. We told you a week ago when they fell down 1-0 to Dallas. If you like the Oilers, they're now in the plus 300s. They might not be this high again.
There you go.
They are now minus 120 to win the Cup.
Dean, you're heading north. Are you excited that there isn't a game now to have to deal with, or do you wish, or are you headed up there to celebrate with all the?
I don't know what quadrant of the city we're in. I haven't gotten that far. I feel like it's not going to matter. I feel like the car flags and jerseys and
Oh yeah, you're in it.
all of that is going to be fairly standard, really.
You've fallen into the outhouse. There's no escaping it there.
Yeah. Hey, their team is in the cup final.
Yeah.
This would be the behavior
years in a
you would
row.
expect.
100%.
If they weren't excited, we'd be crushing them.
They absolutely should be excited, and they are excited.
They are. So Wednesday starts. Okay, and you're going away for George Strait, and we got to get you the hell out of here. So,
I'm gonna get out of here later.
Jack, have you ever co-hosted a podcast?
I'm going to George Strait too.
All right, George Strait times two.
You want to do a cooking show? Maybe no hockey. You and I.
That would be the best if we just stopped doing shows.
Yo, USA!
All the Oiler fans that love coming in here to watch us flail around.
God, they got like 10 shows up in Edmonton on Oilers Nation. You can't pick one of those.
It's weird.
You got to hang out.
I
here.
guess rabbit ears don't pick it up.
Weird.
Yeah, awesome. Let's take a look at a super chat. We've got a little money coming. We'll direct it to the Youth Centers of Calgary. Doing good work for the kids of our fine city.
It's for the kids
of Calgary. Tom the trucker, $9 and
oh, hang on.
Yeah,
I see what he did there. It wasn't just the 55.
You think you wanted both?
Yep.
9.
Oh. I can do better.
9.
All right.
You
There you go, Tommy boy.
What about Tommy? Cripes.
Cripes.
That's a great super chat.
Cripes. It took me way too damn long to figure out this super chat thingy. I'm old. Attaboy, Tom.
You stay who you are. You do you, Tom the Trucker.
Tom.
Fellas. Wait, what's the price?
Is he doing this? So is each one of these?
What's the price?
Well, it was
9.
Fellas. Finally made it over to BK Beaufort Liquor, picked up some Origin refreshments for my buddy's 50th birthday party. Met Man Deep in person. He's a good guy.
Deeper. He's a beauty.
And you know what, Tom? So are you.
Love you, Tommy.
Picking up some Origins for your buddy's party. Throwing out $9.55 donations like they're going out of style.
For the kids?
Attaboy.
Tell me this more.
Appreciate it.
Ken,
$20. Today is the worst day. First, Edmonton is in the finals, and then Panthers' pick has become the least valuable first rounder. Conroy has some really tough decisions to make right now. What do you think should be his first move? Well, I don't know if it's allowed. I would trade for McDavid fast.
Right.
Like today,
Yeah.
certainly before Wednesday.
I'd vote for a cancellation of the 24-25 season immediately.
Yeah.
The Cup wasn't giving away that year. Too bad. It looked like there was a couple good teams going too.
Call Gary, get the union involved in a negotiation, not a dispute.
Well, I heard
Union
good things about this Russian goaltender, so I would try and lock him up fast. Prosvetov or something, right? Brett?
Well, it's always good to get the best players not playing in the NHL.
I would call Jarmo Kekalainen. He knows the Russians.
Yarmo would know. Yarmo would know.
To be fair, you're probably doing your pro scouting, amateur scouting, draft stuff. And I think you probably want to have a very clear picture of what Rasmus Anderson's camp wants to do before you arrive on draft week.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it, the draft is kind of tied to it. What you're doing with a ball contract extension, do we have Anderson for the year? You kind of want a little clarity, I would think, on some of that.
Yeah.
I think they probably do.
I would think the worlds have ended. Rasmus's camp can now gather and say, here's what we're looking for. The Flames say, here's what we'd like to offer you. How big's the gap?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, is this amenable, or is it time to take this guy to the draft and try to move up a bit or get other assets? That's top priority for me.
What about you, Rhett? What's top priority for Conroy?
Well, I saw him the other day. I think he's got to get back in the gym. I think that
boy.
he's got to start putting some time into himself and
Cardio.
I don't know what he knows all the things you guys brought up are not. It's not. I feel like he's probably got a grasp of all these issues.
That Rasmus Anderson for
Oh.
Tisha Ginla package. Get that going.
Wouldn't be against that.
I want to know how Tisha's hips are. How's your hip?
They don't lie.
Deserve that.
Right, man. Oh, we got a honk honk. There we go. Shane is in under the wire. $5 death taxes and Pinder wearing a hat that fits like Pete DeBoer's decision to pull Otter last night. For the kids. Go Oilers. Love the show.
Oh, Shane, you son of a.
Well, you're gonna pay for that. That's fine.
Yeah.
For the kids.
This one's even curved a bit. I mean, Daryl's probably got the me time lotion out for this guy here.
Okay, Christ. Oh, well,
we got another one.
hang on. Honkity honk. Yeah, there we go. Pinder, thank you for not praising the Oiler greasers. Marchand Kachuk will lead to Florida in 5. Thoughts?
Please. Pretty
But yeah,
good.
I don't have thoughts. I have prayers at this point.
Strong desires. Shh, don't say anything. Ryan's in prayer. To everybody else, have a great weekend. See you, buddies.